Hi, my name is Jeff Davis. I'm 58 years old and staying here at the Paul House, part of Bridge Prison Ministry. I've been here for just over 4 weeks, almost 5 weeks now. I was released from prison on June 24th after serving 27 years, 3 months straight. Before I was in prison, my life was chaotic. I was a full-time drug dealer and had been for almost 20 years, and turned it into a business and selling a lot of marijuana, moving it back east, and always having large quantities on the road, keeping you very anxious all the time. And I self-medicated. I did a lot of drinking and a lot of cocaine. 27 years, 3 months. It actually works out to be 10,027 days straight. I was convicted in February of 1998 for first-degree murder. I had killed a guy that worked for me during a bad argument, and it just led to that. You know, it was like bound to happen, I suppose, with our lifestyles and the guns being around and the drug use, and I committed my crime in 1993, but they didn't get me convicted. They didn't catch me till 97, and then 98 I was convicted. My grandma, in a phone conversation where I was in county jail, made me promise her that I'd read 1 chapter of the Bible a day for as long as I was there. And I promised her, and of course I followed through on it. So I got a Bible off the shelf and just started reading 1 chapter a day, and I'm still doing it. So in prison, we do have there's Christian ministries coming in, and then you have guys that are thinking the same way you are, trying to change their lives, trying to get closer to Jesus, and we start Bible studies, and we do bold things like prayer circles, standing in the middle of the yard so everyone can see it. And I remember starting several circles that were just 2 guys, me and someone else. And then, a month later, you got 30 guys out there, and people are showing up to see what you're up to. You have officers coming by, what are you guys up to? Because you can't be grouping. But when you explain it, they're like, all right, we'll make it quick, But other guys show up and they just want to stand in and listen. And week after week, more of them will join, because it turns out a lot of guys are looking for that in there. They don't know what they're looking for, so until you give them, you got to show it to them. And so I tried to walk the right walk in there. The turning point, I can tell you quite honestly that it was when I decided in my heart to forgive the guys that testified against me. That changed everything, because even though I was doing well, especially on the outside, you could see I stayed out of trouble, I didn't use drugs, I always passed my urine test, But inside there was some really bad thinking going on. These guys testified against me and got me a life sentence, and I wasn't going to let that go. 10 years in or so, I'm still thinking about them, thinking about when I get out, And a Bible study convicted me to forgive everybody, even if you don't want to. And what I learned from it was, there's those things that we cannot do, but God can. Everything's possible with God. I prayed that night after night, day after day, for a year and a half. And after a year and a half, it was like a light switch was turned, just like that. All of a sudden, it didn't matter to me. I forgave him right then and there.
What do you aspire to become?
Well, I've got a lot. I've had a lot of years to think about it. But my ultimate goal is to be a traveler full-time. I want to travel full-time. I want to see places. I want to see far-flung places and hard-to-reach places. And while I do it, I want to be a missionary. I would say the greatest lesson I've learned. Follow the path that's obviously in front of you, put there by God. There's always that path, and then there's always the other ones that we run off to over and over again.